Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Cups, the satiated life, the full life. The dream come true, right? All of the dreams we have becoming a reality. All of our cups filled, right? We have to believe that this is out there for us. And I think you're someone that does believe that your life can be as full and as meaningful, as deep, as harmonious, as significant, as happy, as fulfilled as you want it to be. We have to believe that these cups are out there for us, and then we have to kind of base our behavior and our perception and our understanding with the absolute certainty that our success is there, that we can manifest our dreams, that we can achieve this. Okay. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, okay? This is a card, I don't think that we really feel this life right now. I think that this is something that this is something that's motivating us. This is something that is just, it gives us that hunger and that drive to go at no matter what cost, no matter what odds are against us, to go out and get these cups, to get this full life, Let's see what else is going on. Let's see where we are utilizing this energy. We've got that Lover's card. We've got that Art or Temperance card. We've got the Ace of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Oh yeah, that is wonderful. The Nine of Pentacles is us making progress toward this best life. Making progress toward all of these dreams, the absolute fulfillment. This is something really like, the Ten of Cups is that dream life that we all sort of want. And it's kind of like we have that vision of our ideal life. Like I used to have posters on my wall of like my favorite rappers and music bands, musicians and stuff. Like, man, that's the life I want. That's the dream right there, And it's not enough to just dream. It's not enough to just to have the picture on the wall, to have the vision of something and to see it and think, I want that. I want to live that life. I want to feel that I'm living up to my potential, and that I have fulfilled who I am meant to be, that I've pursued that course and I've achieved that. We have to believe that we're capable of doing that. But then we kind of just we've got to make the decision and take the plunge. Sometimes we have to take that leap, right? In order to get this satisfaction, to get this full life, And I think that it's not so much a finished state of things. I think what we realize that this happy and fulfilled life, it's in the journey, not the destination. But we have to believe that this destination is out there for us so we can make the commitment toward always progressing toward that sort of dream life, I think you've got this Art or Temperance card underneath you because you have this intense capacity to change your life, okay? And this energy, I think, is very important for you to maintain. This is that fire in your belly, This is the hunger that you feel when you can see that this 10 of Cups life is out there for you and that you're capable of achieving that. You've got to protect that energy, especially with that Four of Swords. I feel like there are forces around you that are trying to convince you not to do something, They're trying to convince you to spend your time doing other things, right? And these may be in the disguise of people who really do care about you, you know. And indeed, I think a lot of the time the people that care about us the most are the ones that are kind of trying the hardest to prevent us from going beyond, you know, from taking that very kind of dangerous or risky leap in life, you know. Like an overprotective parent, you know, doesn't want their kids to do anything, doesn't want to, like, I'm a father. I got a 4-year-old daughter. I don't want to see her fall off her bike. I don't want to see her try to do something and fail and be sad and disappointed, you know. But at the same time, I'm not going to tell her, no, don't do that. No, you can't do that. Don't try to do that, you know. That's limiting her. She's trying to you know, learn her alphabet, you know. And so she's trying to write her letters, and when she makes a mistake, she gets mad, she gets upset. What am I supposed to do? Tell her, well, that I want you doing that. Don't do that. Don't learn your letters. You know, as a father, yeah, I don't want to see her upset. You know? But I know that she has to go through these things because that's the way she's going to learn. By making the mistake and then figuring out, why didn't my hand make the letter the right way, and to continue to work on it and push through those feelings. Okay? And I think right now you've got that sort of protective, I don't know, you've got that overprotective energy around you from someone. I don't know if it's a spouse, if it's a family member, or if it's just your family itself, or something that doesn't really want you to take the risks. And I feel like you've got to protect yourself from that by keeping this fire alive inside of you, knowing that you're capable of transforming your life and getting closer to your 10 of Cups by way of this 9, right, of Pentacles. But Scorpio, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. We're going to put the rest of our cards down on the table here. The Hierophant. There's that Fool. 5 of Pentacles and a 4 of Wands. I like the 5 of Pentacles, even though it is in the position of the obstacle. The hardest thing for us to do is to get out of our comfort zone. The hardest thing for us to do is to, to get out of the warm bed and to get out there and put ourselves into a challenging situation. You know, change is the most difficult thing for us to do. We have a lot of 4s up here, and I think the 4s are very much about this kind of protective energy, about you trying to, we're trying to protect our fire here. And the 4 of Wands is kind of like that campfire, where you don't just, you're going to camp for the night. You don't just set a bunch of stuff on fire, right? You put the ring of stones around. You build up. Maybe you dig out a little bit of a pit. You put your wood in there, your fuel, and then you light it. You keep it contained. You keep it protected, right? You don't want the fire to just either run wild and burn everything down, but you don't want the wind to come and you don't want it to fizzle out. You don't want the logs to roll away, So you have to contain it in something, okay? And I think right now a big part of your work is to maintain your fire even when there's a lot of strong winds that are blowing around you. Even when there are a lot of differing opinions, there are a lot of other voices in your life, and I think there is this sort of overprotective energy around you, maybe coming from a family member or something. The Fool here in the environment is definitely telling you it's time to take that leap. It's time to take that leap really into the Art or Temperance card, which is the pressure cooker, right? It's taking that leap. It's going outside your comfort zone with that 5 of Pentacles, right? And it's time to stop being the pupil and start being the master. Okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite. Whoa, and Unknown. That won't be it, but here will be our mystery card. We'll put Big Red Ant on top of it. The Knight of Pentacles is what volunteered, and that is a card about going into the future, about looking at the future. It's in other words, keep your mind focused on what you can achieve. of what your potential is. And you have to believe this. You have to be able to see this in your future and use that as motivation to do it, to take this leap, to jump into the fire and change your life in this way toward this outcome, no matter what energy is going on around you. Okay? No matter who or what in your life is telling you, no, you can't, you shouldn't do it. I don't want you to take the risk. It's too dangerous. It's not, that's not something that you're good at. It's not, whatever those words are. Okay? So the Knight of Pentacles, I think, is a very important thing, keeping our eyes on the future, right? And it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of saying that if you keep your eyes focused on where you want to land, then when you jump, that's where you're going to go. You got to always keep your eyes focused on where your body's going, where you're headed, right? And I tell my daughter that again. She's 4. She's learning to ride a bike. And I tell her, wherever your eyes go, that's where your body's going to go, And so it's similar thing when you're driving too. You don't want to just look at the hood of the car. You can look a couple feet in front of the car. Better yet, you could look a couple miles down the road so you can see what's coming your way, right? And that's kind of the relationship that we see here, I really feel, between the Knight of Pentacles and the Fool. If we keep our eyes fixed on the future that we want, the goal that we have, maybe it's the long-term goal or the short-term goal, doesn't matter. We keep our eyes fixed on where we want our feet to land, right? Pick a spot on the floor. That's where your feet are going to go. And then we take that leap, and that's where the Fool's going to land. Okay? It's time for us to start doing it and, to realize that we can't learn anything else about it now in the classroom. We've got to get out of the classroom and start dealing with this energy and, and taking the risks, jumping into the fire of this Temperance card. Okay? So we've got 4 major arcana energies. I think the Lover's card here, it could be a romance. Yeah, I mean, it might be about you jumping, kind of feet first into a new love relationship, right? But it is definitely a commitment. Now, whether this is a romance or whether this is a commitment to whatever you're made of, whatever you're good at, whatever you do. Right? This is your commitment to do it and to make progress and to do it and become the best, to be great at it. So this could be, it could be a particular romantic relationship. It could be a path toward financial or business success. It could be toward creative fulfillment. It could be toward a sense of community and health, or wellness. It could be a spiritual path you're on. It doesn't have to be, the rapper or the band or the actor, whatever's on your wall, right? Maybe you're going to be the best bowler you can be, right? Whatever you do, not what everybody else is doing. You have to jump feet first into whatever it is that you are going to do. Maybe it is, a musician. Maybe it is music or being a producer. Maybe it's film. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's business. Maybe it's, community stuff. Whatever it is that you do, you've got to jump in and commit to it and do it, despite what these other people in your life are telling you. I feel like there's somebody or a group of people that care about you so much, they don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you suffering in this pressure cooker. And so the best way to do that is to not do it, not try, right? So it's someone that wants to hold you back, not because they don't want you to succeed, but because they think that they're helping you by helping you avoid discomfort, helping you avoid pain, helping you avoid disappointment. Okay? And sometimes we kind of concede. We say, yeah, you're right. That's going to be tough. I don't think I want to do that. And we have that 5 of Pentacles in the position of what you don't want. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to be worried about about things. Nobody wants to really experience that kind of uncertainty or challenge or the difficulty of something, right? We kind of naturally want something that's going to make us feel good, you know. But if we learn to enjoy this process of this Five of Pentacles, because you look underneath the surface here, this light is starting to break forth from underneath you. This is the light of your full potential. It really kind of, the way the colors look, right? It almost looks as if there's a 10 of Cups underneath that Five of Pentacles, right? It's the similar color scheme. It's starting to break forth from underneath this crust. And if we just keep doing it, we keep working on it, and we keep pushing ourselves beyond our own limits, we're going to achieve that kind of thing. We're going to get closer and closer and closer to that 10 of Cups. Okay? But we can't be afraid of changing our lives. We can't be afraid. The fool can't be afraid of just jumping into change. You know, there's no better time for the fool than right now. That's all the fool knows is right now. You know? But, you know, when our loved ones are telling us, oh, no, don't do that, that's risky, you're going to hurt yourself, there's a part of us that says, yeah, okay, you know what, you're right, I don't know what I was thinking, I was being a fool, you know? And then, so then we don't do it. And I think that's the way a lot of us live, you know, because we have these aspirations, which I think you have with your Ace of Swords here. You know who you are. You know what you're good at. You know pretty much what you're like meant to do. I think you've had this download. You've had this vision of like kind of what your mission is in life, what you're supposed to do right now. But there's this other energy, and I think this is what you really are trying to protect yourself from. Conceding to all those people around you that are saying, that's silly, you're being a fool, you're going to get yourself hurt. You know, it's kind of, you know, someone like me, I'm 5'10", and say, I'm going to go be in the NBA, you know, I'm going to go play professional basketball. No. I'm going to go run a Spartan race. No, you're going to get yourself hurt out there, Paul. Maybe. But see, we have to believe in what we're doing, and this is that unshakable belief in ourselves that says, I know what I'm doing, and there's going to be all these opposing energies that are going to come in and tell me that I can't do it. Sometimes we just have to close our eyes. Well, I think the Knight of Pentacles is correcting me on that one. We don't close our eyes and jump. We look at where we want to land, and we jump with everything we have. We abandon all of our worries and concerns, and we jump. And we are looking at the floor, and that's where we're going to land, and we're going to stick that landing. Okay? And even if we don't, even if we fall, even if we come up short, or maybe we jump too far, or we fall down, or whatever it is, we're doing it. Okay? And the more times we're able to do that, the more times we're able to look at the floor and jump, eventually we're going to hit it perfect. It's like throwing darts, you know? You could close your eyes and throw a dart, sure, but until you get that good, you got to focus. You got to bullseye, and then you got to just let it go. I'm not that good at darts, but I can throw an axe pretty well. And the more times we do that, and maybe at first we're not really nailing it, but the more we do it, the more disciplined we get, the more we're able to block out the noise and believe in ourselves and sort of abandon ourselves to the process, we're going to get better and better and better at throwing that dart, at sticking that landing, you know. And the more we do that, the more skill and discipline we develop, and the sort of wiser we become. We're really forging ourselves into an iron will, you know. We're forging the sword of our own destiny in this furnace. This is the Temperance card. Whatever we're made of, we're forging that into the strongest, you know, version of that. Okay? We're forging that steel within us, and this is that willpower, this is that belief, this is that discipline, this is the understanding of what our truth is and what we're meant to do, despite the fact that we've got this Four of Swords above, which is kind of that influence that's saying, I'm ready to just concede to what everybody's kind of telling me, and I'm not going to do it. You know, it's kind of like if everybody tells you suck, then, well, maybe you suck. You know, if everybody around you is telling you, well, you shouldn't go do that, oh, maybe they're right, you know. No, they're not. They're not right. Just because they don't believe that they're capable of doing those things doesn't mean that you're not capable of it. It's all about belief. It's all about mentality, mindset. And if you have your mind set on doing it, on the belief in yourself, you are one-pointed. It's just, there is no option here. It is a resounding yes. Okay? And we're not giving space in our mind to the people that are telling us we can't do something, or that we're not good at it, or we're going to fail, or we're going to get hurt. Yeah, it probably will hurt at some point. This is a pressure cooker, right? I mean, this is what you're sort of jumping into. This is what you're committing to. Even if this is a relationship, if this is a business thing, maybe you're going to go be a rapper, you're going to go through some difficult times. But those difficult times are going to force you to develop the skills, the talents, and the virtues that you need to continue getting successful, to continue making your way through this and having more and more progress. Okay? So the Nine of Pentacles really is this idea that, every opportunity that we get, we continue to sort of abandon ourselves to this fiery energy of our will, and we're making progress. Some days it's going to be a lot of progress. Some days it's going to seem like we didn't make any progress at all. Okay? But it's not really about the visible signs of progress. It's about what this commitment is really doing. The commitment to your dream, the belief in yourself and the commitment to your dream is where you're really developing all of these, all of the, again, skills, talents, and the virtues that it's going to take for you to really succeed. And what I think with the Four of Wands is really completing the goals, getting the things checked off your checklist. It's not always going to be that productive, right? Not in that very outward, obvious, tangible way. But you're always going to be developing skills. Everything that you go through, every time you leap into this, whether you succeed or fail, whether you have a lot of success, a lot of gains in a day, or you have a little bit of losses, right? And every day is going to be different, right? Who was it that I heard someone talking about that, where they said like Monday you'll go and you'll win the game. You'll play great, you'll win. Tuesday, you won't play that well, you'll lose. Feels terrible, but guess what? There's Wednesday again. You get to go back and do it again. And so life's going to be wins and losses. There's going to be gains and losses all the time. The point is that if you're not in there trying, you're not growing, you're not changing, you're not in the fire, you're not becoming the strongest, metal that you can be, right? You're not being forged into steel because you're choosing not to go into the fire. Well, when you're in that fire, when you're in the circumstances, you never know if you're going to win or lose that particular event, that particular day. And so it doesn't matter so much if day to day we're winning or losing. Ultimately, over the long term, you're winning because you're developing the skills and the virtues by going through these situations. Okay? But you've got to protect your energy. And I think that's a big part of this reading today is what I'm feeling to be other people that really wish you well, that mean something to you, friends or family or something like this, but they're trying to encourage you not to do it because they don't want to see you get hurt. Okay. Over here with the Path of the Serpent, by the way, if you haven't subbed yet, consider subbing. It's free and it really supports the channel. I appreciate that. Okay. The Hierophant is here. I think that this is, this is somebody who is learning all about this industry, right? And at this point, it's still safe. We're in the classroom. We're in our room. We're just practicing. We're just learning. We're just we're getting familiar with it. We're a student. We're the pupil, right? As soon as we decide that we're going to go out into the world and become the master and really conquer this thing and do it and push ourselves as far as we can go and work hard at it, that's when, the overprotective parents will run up to the kid and say, no, don't climb up that slide or that rope ladder or whatever. That will, those kinds of energy rush in trying to save the day. It's like it's okay when it's just a theory, it's just an idea, it's just a fantasy, it's just something that we're pretending. When we go to do it for real, that's when the protective energy rushes in to say no, But this is really what I think what Spirit's saying to you, it's time for you to stop being the pupil, to realize that the only way that you're going to further your wisdom, further your career, your path, is to go out into the world and do it for real now. To really go and push yourself and get into that pressure cooker situation, to put yourself in the challenging spot. Okay, it's kind of like there's nothing more we can learn in the classroom. It's time to go out into the field, you know? I feel that's what you're doing. I feel that's exactly what's going on with you. The Fool is taking that sort of feet first leap into the field, into the pressure cooker. And it's kind of a foolish abandon, right? It's almost an innocence, or it's even a little bit naive. That's just leaping into something. And the way other people may see it is if you're doing something real foolish, you're doing something real dangerous, you didn't think it through, you look, the Fool is really the Fool is like a kind of an outcast, right? The Fool is the one that everybody looks at and think, well, they need help, They need to be protected from themselves, right? This is a foolish person that's going to just get themselves caught up in a bear trap or something. So to the outside world, you may seem like a clown. You may seem like a mad person, Madness and genius is a fine line. And I think that you're okay with other people looking at you like you're off your rocker, because that's you're intentionally putting yourself outside of the sort of normal person. This is someone that really stands out from the crowd, and they're not doing it just to stand out. They're doing it because they want to push themselves and achieve something and get that 10 of Cups. Going after that 10 of Cups is just by default makes you exceptional. By willing to jump out into the world, kind of, feet first into something, is going to make you stick out from everybody that's not doing that yet, hasn't yet taken the jump. I used to have friends that would go to Santa Cruz and they'd go cliff diving. I've never done the cliff diving before. I was always doing something else when they'd go cliff diving. But it's kind of like everybody's up there at the top of the cliff, right? And then when the first person decides to jump, it's everybody kind of just gets, it's that adrenaline that gets going, And that was, okay, they were the first person that did that or the second person that did that. And it's kind of like, it's always an event. It always like everybody's watching, And sort of, it kind of feels like that. But imagine if it wasn't your friends up there that were kind of motivating you, say, yeah, let's go, jump, let's, who's going to be first? It's like your parents and your grandparents are up there saying, no, don't do it. And that really pulls the wind out of your sails. And if we allow that energy into our life, guess what? The Fool is not going to look and jump and land. The Fool's going to hesitate, and maybe he's going to be running, and then maybe second guess themselves, a little bit of apprehension, and then maybe they try to slow down at the last minute. They end up tumbling down, and it's really bad, right? We've got to surround ourselves with people that are going to encourage us and not try to take the wind out of our sails. I think part of that Four of Swords is maybe not people that are actively criticizing you, but people that when you walk into the room and you have this motivation and you're in it and you're just like, you're fired up about something, they may just have one or two words to say that are just kind of like, sucks the energy right out of you, right? Sucks the enthusiasm. And you don't need those kind of people. I think we have to protect ourselves from that. No matter what anybody says to you, you keep that fire in your belly, right? And that's going to give you the hunger, the motivation, the drive to do whatever this is that you're doing. Whatever it is that's setting you apart from the rest of the world, right? There are going to be people for whatever reason, and especially those people that care about you and don't want to see you get hurt, that they might have a little passive-aggressive comment or a backhanded compliment or something. Or they might have to be a little bit contrary just for contrary's sake. You've got to be immune to that. The fool doesn't hear anything that's going on. The fool is just blind, deaf, and dumb, right? Goes in one ear and out the other, doesn't listen. Nothing anybody says to you can take the wind out of your sails. You've got to be that fortified, okay? And I think that's very important for you right now because you're embarking on a path that has a lot of dangers. Ow, I hit my hand. A lot of dangers. As I rack my knuckle on my table here. A lot of changes. You're doing something that, like I said, is setting you apart from everybody else. And to do this, you have to be willing to enter into a Five of Pentacles. That Five of Pentacles is choosing to endure what is not pleasant and comfortable. You know, pleasant and comfortable is like a Four of Pentacles. I'm going to stay in my house. It's warm. I got the heat on. I got food. I got a bed, a TV, and it's just chill. I can relax. I can hang out. This is choosing to go outside where it's cold and to do the difficult thing. And if you're willing to go out and do this difficult thing when everybody else is going to stay inside where it's warm, you're setting yourself apart. You're going to be the one that everyone's going to be looking out the window. Oh my gosh, there goes Scorpio. And it's going to set you apart. And if you're willing to endure this and do this and make these changes, even when they are physically uncomfortable, you've already got a leg up on everybody else that isn't willing to do that. Okay? You know, how many times have we talked with our friends or our families, oh, wouldn't it be cool if one day we did this? What if we just started a business? What if we have all these ideas, you know, as kids. We say, well, one day I'm going to start a radio station. I'm going to be, you know, I used to have these fantasies when I was a kid of like being on the radio, you know. Me and my friends, we do these little pretend radio shows and stuff. And, you know, then as we get older, we start to get into the comfortable life, and it says, well, yeah, those are great fantasies, but I got my job now. I got these things that I got to do, my responsibilities. I can't take that big risk. I can't just jump into something that's that unknown and that risky, you know. And therefore, that fire always stays underneath the surface there. And that sort of is like the molten lava just underneath the crust. It's always going to be there, and some days it's going to perhaps just erupt through and cause some major problems, you know. And I think that that sort of unfulfilled potential influences our lives in other ways that we're not really expecting, we're not ready for. But if we're voluntarily opening this up and really opening the can of worms, right, taking ourselves out of our comfort zone, doing something that is challenging to us, putting ourselves in an uncomfortable position because it's helping us to change and grow and adapt who we are, which is then in turn helping us to change and grow and you know, and alter our environment, manifest our reality as a magician would, right? And that's kind of the like a Nine of Pentacles, right? But we've got to be willing to do the difficult thing, especially those things that nobody else is willing to do. If everybody else is telling you, no, don't do it, then I think you're onto something. Because that means that they're not willing to do it. It's going to be easier for you to succeed and, you know, to fulfill that potential in you, you know. The Four of Wands at the end is sort of it's a card of completion, okay? It's a card of really, it looks like a bullseye. It looks like we're sort of finishing something. Maybe we're sticking the landing here. I think that this is really a fortification of that fire energy. Again, it all goes back to this urgent need to protect your energy at this time, okay? Don't let that fire go out. Because this is that fire of ambition. This is that fire that says, I know this Ten of Cups life is out there for me, and I don't care what it takes. I'm going to go and I'm going to get it. Right? I don't think you're satisfied with the mediocre. I don't think you are ready to acquiesce or ready to concede your ambition. Okay? I think you're fired up. And I think you need to keep that fire and let this Fool be the right kind of air, the right kind of circulation that's going to keep that fire growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? I think you are taking risks. I think you're jumping into something even when you know, your loved ones or your so-called friends are kind of telling you you're being foolish. right? Maybe this is a romantic thing. Maybe this is a big move somewhere. Maybe it is a big career change. Maybe it is, putting yourself out there with your art or your, whatever it is. Your bowling, your business, your cooking, whatever it is. Pursuing this path is really, this is the truth, and this is all we've got. And if we believe in ourselves, then it's worth the price we pay. Let's look at the mystery card. Well, I want to see some more water energy, right? We have that 10. It's sort of in an ideal future. It's the picture on your wall kind of thing. It is that satisfaction, that happy life. I want to see a 9 of cups right here. If you've got a prediction, you can put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. A 6 of swords. Yes, this is good. This is very good because it shows that you are following the path. You're on the river. You're flowing down that river looking for that 10 of cups, right? You got your boat, which is, this kind of looks like a canoe, right? If you think of it as kind of horizontal. You got your boat, which is, some days we're going to get a little further down the river. Some days we're going to maybe get pushed back a little bit. Some days there'll be obstacles. Some days will be really rapid. Some days will be nice, gentle, coasting down the river. So we've got the boat. We're on the boat. We've got our will, and our will is what is driving the boat. We've got that wand, and we're pushing, and we're directing, and we're steering the boat, and that's what we're using. Sort of I could be our ace of swords, right? It's our belief in ourself. It is our willpower. It's our fire. The swords are on the boat, but they're not driving the boat. So we are bringing our wisdom, our learning, our understanding. We're bringing all the potential pitfalls, all the what ifs. We're bringing those with us, but they're not driving the boat, right? If the what ifs were in charge of the boat wouldn't be moving. Well, what if I fail? What if I get hurt? What if it goes wrong? What if I fall short? What if I get embarrassed? What if I look like a clown, right? What if I look like a fool? What if everybody laughs at you? All those what ifs are going to prevent us from going anywhere. Now, we've got all those with us. They're there, but we're not giving them any power. Okay? The power comes from the will and the belief in ourselves. And I think this is showing that you have protected yourself against this negative energy. Despite the negative energy, despite the naysayers, despite the overprotective parents or whatever, you're going down this river. You're pursuing this course in your life because it means something to you and because it is worth the trouble. You don't need a reason to do it. If you are looking for a reason to go down this path isn't for you. You have a reason. There is no other. There is no alternative. Okay? If you're looking for a reason or looking for motivation, then this is the wrong path for you. You've already got that. The idea is to preserve it and don't let anyone else in the world or your own mind really convince you that it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the trouble. All right. What is worth the trouble is the extended reading. I hope you'll follow me over there. We're going to do a hexagram from the I Ching. We're going to consult some other oracle cards. Click on the link in the corner. There's also a link down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both. Sub to the channel if you haven't yet, right? It's free to subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.